It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
Hi, my name is Rorisang Mosedi. I am 22, going on 23. I am at the University of Cape Town. I'm a BCom in Politics, Philosophy and Economics student and involved in student politics and activism.
Hi, I'm Nandine Dombela. I'm 21 years old and I'm currently doing my honours at UCT.
Hi, I'm Tyler Smith. I'm 29 years old. I'm a graphic designer, freelance, and a DJ.
Hello, my name is Milan. I'm 27 years old and I work at a restaurant and I also write about cars and make videos of them.
Hi, my name is Angela. I'm 32 years old. I'm a DJ and a promoter and an artist manager and booker. I was walking from the Cape Quarter to my house, which is like a kilometre and a half down the road. And first guy stopped me to ask for money. And because he was desperate, and I was like, I can't help you. And while I was being harassed by a guy for money, two guys walked past and said, hey baby, how's it going? All at the same time. And I was like, really? Cool, okay. It's 9 p.m. at night. I should be able to walk home a kilometre at 9 p.m. at night, but it's coming from all ends. And I've put myself in situations where I will rather step into the road and get hit by a car than deal with it. I've had to do that to get out of a mugging. I've stepped into the road rather to have the chance that a car hit me so I could get some sort of attention than possibly get stabbed with a penknife or something, you know?
The scariest one for me, I think, was when I decided to walk from my residence, which is in Mowbray, these big gardens, from there to Claremont. I just thought, let me just get the exercise, you know? And by the time I reached Pick and Pay Rondebosch, I had a guy who started following me and he was wearing a trench coat and he kept his arms in his trench coat. So I didn't want to piss him off really because I didn't know what he had in his pockets. And he was just kind of following me the whole time, you know, constantly asking for my number, telling me that he wants to marry me and he wants to take me home, and you know, he was 35 and he's ready for kids and, you know, all of this stuff, and it was just really, really arbitrary. And this happened constantly until I got to Virgin Active in Claremont, and eventually I kind of had to, you know, I was screaming at him and I was telling him to leave me alone, but it reached a point where I kind of turned around and I was like, I just want you to leave me alone, just leave me. And I you know, I was in tears and I was just like, I don't want to talk to you, just leave me alone. And I'm like flailing my arms and I'm trying to get anyone's attention. And eventually another man comes in and he says, hey dude, like, are you bothering her? And eventually the guy's like, no, relax, it's chill, like it's fine, everything's okay. And he walked off. And I was just really pissed because I was like, cool, it takes another man's intervention for you know, this guy who was essentially harassing me to leave me alone.
I think there's a lot of keywords in Nandi's story that is like a real problem for women every day, which is speaking about how you said you didn't want to piss him off, so you just kept going. We are taught that you don't want to make a man angry at you to protect yourself, but he's violating everything about your own personal space and your own safety, but you're still more concerned about his emotions in a situation because it's going to put you at a higher threat. And that's a big problem, you know. And then, as you mentioned, the fact that it took another man to step in order for him to leave you alone. It's the same as being in a bar, standing by yourself having a drink, and you have to go, oh, I have a boyfriend, in order for someone to leave you alone. Like, that's a very big problem.
It's like I feel embarrassed for, like, not that I'm a perfect male and that I'm not victim or haven't been part of these things myself, but it's just, yeah, hearing these kind of stories. What's interesting to me, the underlying thing after the discussion we're having is obviously gender violence, which could be any gender, but the fact that the women immediately speak of these like horrendous incidents and I'm kind of sitting here quiet shows you like the inequality that even though this is like a topic about gender violence, 90% of that violence is towards women and not against men.
It almost seems to me like if men had choice, they could just be like, listen, you're not giving me what you want, so like it's either you give me what you want or like you're dying. Like which one are you choosing? Because for
That
like
happens all the time.
exactly.
Like-
Exactly. And like what we're seeing in our country. But it's like for me what was interesting in trying to explore that is like as much as like, and I've been having lots of conversations and thinking and writing around like legal systems, because in South Africa everyone loves to throw the constitution in your face for everything. You know, it's interesting how like the experience and existence of womanhood, like being a woman in a society, like just the vulnerability of your body, and like and how your identity interacts with like maleness and patriarchy, and like it's just bizarre. It's crazy to me just how just the extent to which males want to exert their power to the point where they think that you can live or die if they don't get what they want.
The main problem is sort of how normalized sort of the two experiences that you guys brought up are, and how that's just thought of as it's not an unusual experience, and how the fact that it's, if you have this discussion with a lot of people, which I've had, it's quite an interesting one to go into, is that if you don't understand that the base off of which you're working is not the correct base, it's very difficult to get an idea across. So I had a conversation with my girlfriend today about this actually. Somebody posted something on Facebook, classic, and it said the L in women stands for logic. Lol, get it? Because women don't have logic, classic old misogynist joke. And it was, yeah. So now this individual that if you try and explain to this person why that is not cool, they don't understand why at all.
It's such a problem that we're raised to fear everyone around us. The energy that is put on us, we're raised to be scared of that rather than to be confident that we can look after ourselves in a situation. Because the fact is that no one's going to make the world safe for us. That's really naive to think that. But you need to be able to be in your own space and have the confidence in your own safety wherever you go. And you shouldn't have to have a male companion with you in order for that to be okay. And that is like the smallest piece of violence to us every single day. When I get dressed in the morning, I'm like, is this going to get the wrong attention? Even though I really want to wear this today. You know? And I still wear it. But then when I get home, it's like I get drained and my cup is so empty by the end of the day by having to worry about dealing with comments and just constantly, you know, defending myself all the time. And I don't take shit. I'm like a confident woman, and it still bothers me because it's like saying no over and over and over again, and putting away all of that negative energy over and over again is draining. It's a huge problem.
Yeah. It's interesting because I'm of that notion now that like the men are trash movement, and it's like I'm completely in support of that. Like it's like you have to come to terms and you have to accept that we all are part of this patriarchal society, and as males, like whether we intentionally realize it or not, that we've had a leg up over women since the beginning of, I don't even know, and yeah, so I think we as men have to accept that and realize that, and conversations like this are important so we can understand what females are going through, and be able to play a role in that, whatever that may be, or putting an end to that, I guess.
It's really hard, I think, to decide which is the most traumatic, event. I think every single day we're hearing the most traumatic things. And, you know, I don't think we can really put a bar on that either. Just, someone getting raped is terrible, but you know, someone being followed home is terrible, and you know, and all of these things are really traumatic and they're not nice to experience. And I just think that you know, whatever it is that's happening, it's happening every day, and these are always traumatic, and they're always going to be traumatic, whatever it is that we're hearing.
For me, as males, I think personally, we've got to make steps in our lives to be better, to be aware. I think things like these conversations are so important, and understanding the female perspective. It's a weird catch-22 because it's almost like you feel like you can't change the system, but I mean, obviously by doing little things and by being aware of it, I think, and accepting that men are trash, or accepting that we have a role as males to play, is important.
It's really critical to understand, you know, the levels of hierarchy and where you stand, and to be aware of that. I think, you know, if you know you're a male, you identify as male, then you know you should be aware that you have some sort of upper hand, and that you are a little bit higher up on the hierarchy. And so just to be aware of that, I think it can make you sort of change your mind, like when you think of doing something, and it might be a little bit bad, and then you're like, okay, wait, but hold on, I'm a guy, you know, I have this privilege, and maybe when that girl's walking away from me, I understand, like, it's not, I shouldn't even take it as badly, you know, I just know that this is how she's feeling, this is what she's going through every day, for example.
I would say teach our sons that their power is not rooted in aggression. That's a big thing, and that masculinity doesn't come from aggression and from imposing power on other people. I think that's a big deal. And teach our daughters not to fear their own power and understand that they are equal amongst all men, and to always reset the balance if it's not going in their favor. I think that's a good start.
I can't wait to like have my opportunity, as you said, to like raise the future generation in like a better way. If I can be part of that, or at least make a small difference in raising my son and daughters to be far more aware of gender violence and be more proactive.
My dream is to make the world, or for the world to eventually be, hopefully, a slightly gentler, more thoughtful, slightly more introspective world to live in.
My dream is for everyone in the world to feel safe, regardless of color, creed, or race.
My dream is to play a part in creating a state and a country and a society that is created and vested in enabling people and their dreams.
My dream is to be an inspiration to other people.
My dream is to remain authentic for my entire life and have a legacy that has nurtured and made a difference within the industry that I've chosen to be part of.
Yazi, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.
Reached Pick and Pay Rondebosch. I had a guy who started following me, and he was wearing a trench coat, and he kept his arms in his trench coat. So I didn't want to piss him off, really, because I didn't know what he had in his pockets. And he was just kind of following me the whole time, you know, constantly asking for my number, telling me that he wants to marry me, and he wants to take me home.
It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like
forward.
a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have sex
Corrupt
and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
Hi, my name is Rorisang Mosedi. I am 22, going on 23. I am at the University of Cape Town. I'm a BCom in Politics, Philosophy and Economics student, and involved in student politics and activism.
Hi, I'm Nandine Dombela. I'm 21.
Situations where I will rather step into the road and get hit by a car than deal with it. I've had to do that to get out of a mugging. I stepped into the road rather to have the chance that a car hit me so I could get some sort of attention than possibly get stabbed with a penknife or something, you know?
The scariest one for me, I think, was when I decided to walk from my residence, which is in Mowbray, Beeswick Gardens, from there to Claremont. I just thought, let me just get the exercise, you know? And by the time
I was walking from the Cape Quarter to my house, which is like a kilometre and a half down the road. And first guy stopped me to ask for money. And because he was desperate, and I was like, I can't help you. And while I was being harassed by a guy for money, two guys walked past and said, hey baby, how's it going? All at the same time. And I was like, really? Cool, okay. It's 9 p.m. at night. I should be able to walk home a kilometre at 9 p.m. at night, but it's coming from all ends. And I've put myself in
years old, and I'm currently doing my honours at UCT.
Hi, I'm Tyler Smith. I'm 29 years old. I'm a graphic designer, freelance, and a DJ.
Hello, my name is Milan. I'm 27 years old, and I work at a restaurant, and I also write about cars and make videos of them.
Hi, my name is Angela. I'm 32 years old. I'm a DJ and a promoter and an artist manager.